Oh, not bad for the first.
So one important thing that I noticed pretty much straight away from watching Prince was the fact that he started a long way leg side of the ball. Now that has its advantages, but it meant that he was struggling to actually hit the ball outside off stump. So what we did was, and you'll see this in later shots here, we were actually going further over to off stump. The main reason for that is he's able to access the offside, he's able to reach balls that are wider, which is something he struggled with earlier in the session. But also, like the one we've just shown here, but also it opens up the leg side if he can get his head position right. So that's the big thing. When you come further across the off stump, you need to have good head position, and that's something Prince needs to work on. Okay, so a little bit more talk about Prince's stance. Something I noticed with Prince's stance is he makes a small little foot movement just as he's prior to moving to the ball. So we're going to slow down the footage here. And you'll notice that his head starts to drop a little bit and he opens up his chest and his back foot actually turns towards cover. And if we hold the frame there, you can now see that we can both see both shoulders, his hips have turned around, and that means when he's trying to play straight shots, he often hits, instead of hitting them straight down the ground, he's often slicing them through cover because his body is opened up in this sort of pre-ball trigger thing that he's probably not even aware that he's doing. So something to keep your mind on, Prince, is when you're actually in your stance, stay nice and still. No little movements, no turning of the hips and shoulders, just staying nice and still if that's the way you want to bat.
Yeah.
Okay, so after this change in his stance, Prince is more so over off stump, and this allows him to hit the ball a lot straighter through cover rather than hitting the ball through like cover point. So this is like 4.5 fifth stump, and he's hitting this through a straightish cover.
Good. Yeah.
Okay, so one issue that Prince has, because he's particularly vertically challenged, so quite small, is playing balls outside off stump that are sort of back of a length. And there's been a few times in the video that we've seen him try and drive those balls and miss. This shot here is what Prince should be trying to do more often, and that's actually cut the ball. So get on top of the ball, get on top of the bounce, and actually have a bit more of a free swing instead of trying to drive the ball in the beat.
Okay. Really good exam. Oh! Yeah, good boy.
In terms of his batting, I think the biggest issue that Prince has is playing off his legs. And obviously with him now coming a little bit further across the stumps, we expose that a bit more. But in terms of this shot here, his feet are almost on top of each other and his body's completely falling to the leg side. So probably the biggest area of improvement that we'll look to work on with Prince is playing both on the front foot and off the back foot a lot better through the leg side.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Prince. Nice. Shot.
Okay, so I've got about 5 or 6 balls here of Prince bowling his leggies. I love the way he gives them a rip. Probably the biggest issue I see in terms of line is how wide he starts on the crease. So he's a long way from the stumps, and you'll notice that his angle is going down almost towards leg slip. So when he does get the angle wrong, it's automatically down leg side by a long way. And the next problem is, because he's quite short, and this is going to be accentuated next year when he goes onto the bigger pitch, he's going to have to try and get the ball fuller. And that'll be harder when he's bowling on a wicket that's 2 extra metres. It's now a full-size pitch, and for him, he's still quite small. So we've really got to work on 2 things. One, that line being a little bit better, but mostly him actually getting the ball full, so the batter is having to come forward to the ball.